Hey guys, welcome to another tips and technique video at ScaleModelAddict.com. Now today we're going to talk about dusting with chalk pastels. Now this is the hard pastels, not the soft stuff, okay? And you can make some really cool realistic dusting effects with this technique. So let's take a look at what we'll need to do this technique. We'll need hard chalk pastels, not the soft kind. And they usually come in square form, and they feel exactly like the chalk that you would use back in school on the chalkboard. Now you can buy them individually depending on the art store, or you can buy them in sets. For me, I usually buy them in sets, and I buy a set of earth tones, which is a bunch of browns and yellows, and gray tones, which is black to white and the grays in between. And that's usually enough to do some really cool effects. The other stuff you'll need is a nice soft brush, different sizes depending on how much dusting you're going to do and how big the area is. Sandpaper or as back of the X-Acto blade to grind the hard pastel into dust. So let's take a look. First thing we have to do is take the pastel stick. As you can see here, it is a stick, hard chalk stick. Okay, and what we're going to go ahead and do is take the back of a X-Acto knife. You can always use sandpaper, and just rub it up against the chalk stick, pastel stick, and it'll start grinding into a powder into your container. Dusting will just require the pastel in its powdered form here that we just grinded up. No moistening needed for this. We will take this wheel on an M20 that I'm working on. It is currently gloss coated after the base coat. Now, you could use a gloss coat or a flat coat. If you use a gloss coat, it's really easy to take the dust back off, just washing it with water or something, and start over. With a flat coat, the dust will stick onto the coat itself, so you could try washing it out, but most likely you'll still have smidgen of the dust that you have added onto the part itself. And what we do is take a brush, and what you want to do is dab the powder, or sorry, the dust or powder, either way will work, onto the brush, and then just kind of pile it onto the surface that you want to dust, like this. Now you could do as much as you want. I mean, you could stack it on as much as you want. And what you want to do is use the brush and just kind of rub it in so that it spreads onto the top of the surface of the coating, like this, and then just keep brushing it off, and you get this dusty effect. Now when you got it dusted out pretty well, you're going to have some clumps here if you notice. Like, that's just too much, right? And brushing it off don't seem to be doing it. What you do is just go ahead and hold it up to your mouth and blow on it. And then you get the dusty thing. So now here's the important thing when you're dusting. It is chalk dust. Especially on the gloss surface, it will come right off. So you gotta be very careful until you're ready to coat it over. Let's take this wheel here I've been working on, and this is a dry Q-tip, and all I'm doing is just rubbing the dry Q-tip along the tire here in the middle where you won't get that much dust when the vehicle's driving. So as you see how easy it is to just have the dust rub right off of the surface that you're working with. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is kind of seal in the dust. Okay, so I got actually flat coat, acrylic flat varnish in my airbrush right now. So when I'm going to spray this, I'm going to spray this pretty far. It's actually up at 30 psi's right now, and I'm going to just gently apply it on, because if you notice, it will start to dull down the dusting effect. Now here's examples of the wheels. The ones on the left are the ones that have already been coated over. Ones on the right have not been coated yet. So when you are doing dusting, just remember to go a color lighter, because it will dull a little. Alright, now that you've seen how the basic technique works, you can actually expand on it. Now you can do the whole model if it's all going to be dusty, and then try to get a really cool dusty effect. You do just areas of the model where it gets really dusty, where dust would build up and stuff like that. Now if you want to make a lot of build up, you're going to have to do a lot of layers of dusting and stuff like that. So you're going to have to experiment with it. And it also takes a lot of practice, because this is dust sitting on your model, and that's it. And then you're going to have to seal it in with a clear coat. Now when you do that, the best way to do it is with an airbrush. Now if your airbrush pressure is too high, you'll blow the dust right off your model. If you're pointing too close and spraying too close to the model, it'll blow it right off the model. Now if you're spraying too much of the top coat on at once, the best thing I could describe is that the dust will start to curdle. Okay, just like old milk or something like that. So it just takes a little practice. Okay, so when you're sealing it in, low pressure, further away from the model, and just let the clear coat trickle on really thin layers at a time. The other thing that you have to keep in mind is that if you're dusting on a gloss coat or a matte coat, it will come out with different effects. On the gloss coat, the dust will slide around a lot, so you can do a really nice, almost filtered effect. With a matte coat, you can't do that, but dust sticks harder onto the surface. So just take a model that or a piece of styrene or plastic that you don't need, and just practice on that for a little while. See if you can create some really cool effects. Okay, and that's it for this video, and I hope it helped you. If you have any other tips and techniques or do-it-yourself idea videos or articles you want to write for the ScaleModelAddict.com, go for it. Just go ahead and submit your submissions to junkie@ScaleModelAddict.com. I'll see you around.